Turn heads, break necks with ads that slay. Hi everyone, welcome to ASA Aspire to Advertise, unleashing all shades of creativity. So today I am starting with marketing and business insight, the topic actually. And it's all centered around storytelling, yeah? Story, once upon a time. There was a day I decided, okay, I didn't decide though, but I had a SIM issue, so I needed to go to the telecommunication center. It was around Victoria Island here in Lagos. So when I was done at the place here, I was coming back, and then I wanted to take a taxi. From there, that would drop me where I'll be going to take the second taxi to my place. And I got into this cab. Everything seemed normal to me. Next thing, I just, it wasn't even up to, should I say, 2 minutes. The cabman stopped and then he asked the lady, okay, madam, this is where I'm going to stop you. So, make your payments and all. So she gave him 500 naira. And the man was like, madam, are you okay? How can you give me 500 naira? Do you know where I carried you from with all those women with your load? I didn't understand what was happening. I was still like, I'm be watching what's going on. When you're just inside the cab, your mind is just focused on you and where you're going to. So you'll not be thinking about whatever is happening around you. So, of course, the lady started begging, Oga, please, this is all I have. Please just manage this one. The man was still refusing. And then there was another man sitting in front here. So he was asking the lady, where are you coming from? So she started narrating one funny story. She was talking about her boss. He died. She's a nanny at her boss's place. So the man died, and the man's kids came to the house. They discovered that the man had some dollars locked in some room. So they asked her to go. So, the cab guy was like, madam, I'm going to drop you where I picked you up from. I already knew what was happening. It's like this one chance there. I just said, Oga, you can drop me here. I'm not interested in going anywhere. He said, madam, I said, Oga, don't play with me. Drop me here. So he dropped me, of course. And, I had to call a friend and narrate the whole experience, because it's like, so are they still doing this kind of thing? Anyway, just be careful out there, guys. So the thing is, since we were children, there's always this thing about when our parents tell us interesting stories, like you feel happy, you feel satisfied, you picture yourself in the situation of the character, and then you're just like the story plays in my head like it's a movie. That's the interesting thing. And I've always just loved watching content that has a way of grabbing my attention, especially when a story is added to it. So it has a way of just making me focus at that point, because I want to see what the ending is going to be like. That brings me down to today's topic. What's your brand story? The impact of storytelling in your marketing content. Storytelling is a very powerful tool in marketing. Not just the marketing, just basically anything you're doing, any business, anything. It has a way of just connecting to people. It has a way of attaching your audience to you. It has a way of letting people see a different side of you. Yeah. So it's just something that I would, if I'm ever going to do anything, ads, like a major ad, and the budget is quite big, I would probably say, make sure that the kind of content you want to put out there is a story, because that is what's going to get your audience engaged to the very end. And of course, the first 5 to 10 minutes, 10 seconds actually matters. So when doing that, keep that in mind. So I'm going to use 2 examples so that you could understand what I'm going to be talking about today and the essence of why this is necessary. So I'm going to be playing 2 videos and then I'll come back.
Meet Cynthia, a celebrated banker who works late hours to finish a day's work. Cynthia is the family woman who has no time for herself or family. Michael is a highly experienced mechanic in Lagos. He likes what he does, but does he pay the bills? Michael is soon frustrated, doesn't know where to go. Alice is a fashion expert who treats the financial market as a hobby. She loves learning about the economy and trading at her leisure. Alice doesn't need another job to sustain herself because she has Vida Markets to beat the odds.
Now when I walk in confidence, and when I talk with confidence because I've got Vida Markets as my trading partner.
So this first video is actually an idea that I and a former colleague of mine came up with when we were working with the brand then. We just enjoyed it because it was 3 different professions, and you could just see that each of them had their own different lives. You're telling the stories of 3 different people, how they live their life, and how the brand is going to be of impact to the one who decides to go with it. Now watch the second one.
Setbacks, they are not new to us. Nothing under the sun shakes us anymore. We are a people who see beyond setbacks. Years ago, we had to start all over again. It was tough, but we rebuilt every patch from scratch. Piece by piece, bit by bit, sweat upon sweat. From small steps to giant strides, we made progress for ourselves, coming back from the impossible.
To build our own empires, carve our name in history, and inspire generations to progress. Our impact has felt across the globe like a loud gong of hope. Our fathers never gave up, nor will we. We shall continue to make a resounding name for ourselves and those that come after us. Like our people say, Ife demma, onyeze, ike di n'afake. Abum onyeze, kinwa bundo, doziako, adadiorama, ijele, ezege, ezedike, wane, turugolota.
This second one, why I like it is because it's a story inside a story. I love the fact that they are connecting human activity with history all in one. And the amazing thing is I could connect easily because, let's not lie, every day you get up in the morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., you have to hustle, you have to go to work, you have to go to your business place. And at the end of the day, you're just tired. So what would you want to do at the end of the day? There's always this, once it's Friday, oh, thank God it's Friday, not going to work. Yeah. So the next thing you're thinking is, I should just find a place and sit down and chill and just have fun with friends. And most of the time, it's always going to be a lounge or a bar, and you guys just have a bottle, you know, whatever you feel like. So I love this one. So you could see from this video that basically it's just the everyday life of people, and people should understand that as much as you're going out there to also make out time with family, with friends, sit down, have a bottle of beer, and just be happy. That's just life, yeah? Anyway, these are just examples that I decided to show you so you could actually see how different brands come up with different contexts for their stories. Yeah. Now, one brand that I love their ads a lot is Airtel. They're very good. I'm not promoting any brand here, yeah. I'm just using these brands as examples. And Airtel is very good with telling stories. There's actually one ad I watched recently where the man and his wife, they were expecting a child. So the lady wants a son. The husband wants a girl. And funny enough, at the end, then the lady gives birth to 8 kids. And the man comes to the hospital and hears, oh, you have 8 kids, and he faints. And he now wakes up and says, is it a boy or a girl? So basically they were trying to sell get 8 times bonus and all, but I just love the fact that they didn't just go straight to say get 8 times bonus. They went ahead to paint a different scenario and then connected it together. So that is the essence of this marketing. One key important factor that you should always have in mind is that your story has to look real. From the props, the actors, the videography, everything has to be top notch. Yeah. Second thing is that your story has to be something that, if you associate it with any of these things, culture, lifestyle, profession, history, whatever it may be, it just makes it appear real. It makes it appear like this brand is an entity on its own. So it's not just about marketing or the product or the service that they're trying to render to you. It's just basically about the brand must have a story of its own, that whenever people remember that brand, they have a story in their heads. Another thing about storytelling is that it has to motivate your audience to take action. What's the essence of creating a content if it's not to get some level of attention or get some level of action being taken? Yeah, like as we call it, call to action. So it must get your audience to the point where they're motivated to either purchase a product or subscribe for your services or sign up for something. All these matter at the end of the day because these are the things that create the engagement and boost sales that you're expecting. Storytelling is also important because you see, adding it to your content, it has to speak positive things about your brand mission, your brand values. If not, you've just wasted money entertaining your audience without actually making them see the reason or the essence of why they partnering with your brand, they buying your products, they sponsoring for your, them using your services can change their lives. Now let's get down to business. Why is storytelling actually important? The first thing is stories help to create lasting memories. So people don't like it when you just walk up to them and you say, please, could you sign up for this, our services? This is what we do. This is what we sell. Like, how marketers just walk up to you at events or anywhere you are, even if you're at the mall or somebody just walks up to you, please take this flyer. This is what we do. Can you sign up? You will get, those things. People are not fans of it. But when you create captivating videos, you have gotten their attention. It has kept, it has registered in their heads. So like, for example, I use the Airtel because it's registered in my head. I can remember like 3-4 ads that Airtel has created because of the kind of stories that they tell. But if you just give me a flyer, I probably will not remember your brand. So each time people are in a certain situation, they might just remember your ad and picture themselves like, oh, I remember this ad I saw, this is what this person did. I find myself in that situation sometimes. So basically, let people remember your brand through the stories that you tell. The next thing is relatability. Make your stories relatable to your audience. You know that thing when you're gisting someone and then the person says, my dear, I can relate. So that's the thing. Let your story be something that people can actually say, I can relate with this situation. Let them picture themselves in the character's shoes for that particular situation. This in turn is going to make them understand the message you're trying to put out there. And it's all about building emotional connection with your audience. The next thing is authenticity. So when you are making stories here, you have to make sure that your stories relate to something, real life experience, culture, like I mentioned before, because this makes your brand more approachable. It makes it more authentic. People are able to connect on a deeper level with what you're putting out there. And there's something about that authenticity of your brand. At the end of the day, you would see that people will remember you for something. People will be able to see the change your brand can bring into their lives, because everybody's living their life, everybody's doing different things. But your story, at the end of the day, you have to tell them, irrespective of having this lifestyle, irrespective of the fact that this is happening or this happened, this is what the impact we can make to your life. The next thing is differentiation. Stories define who you are and what you stand for. It makes you different from your competitors. When you have attention-grabbing stories, it makes you unique. The kind of unique stories that you tell will be able to make you different from other people. And people can't, even your competitors will not be able to replicate what you do because they'll have to come up with something different. So in all these things, make sure that something makes you stand out. Let your stories be different. Let your stories connect. Let your stories create lasting memories. Let your stories be authentic. Because at the end of the day, it's all about how do I get my audience to take action. So if they're not able to relate with your content, then at the end of the day, you've wasted money. Do something that will make them want to go further. Remember that the first 5 to 10 seconds matter. So when you're creating your story, do make sure that the beginning will lure your audience to watch to the very end, and they will want to take action. So they could probably visit your social media page or go to your website or probably even download your app. And also remember this, the fact that you created very impacting stories doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get those huge sales. No, but there's something you've done, you've created awareness. So at the end of the day, even if people do not patronize you immediately, they have remembered you for something. They could probably still patronize you tomorrow or probably remember you when they feel like, I think I need these people's services. So don't ever lose hope. Don't ever think that this is the end of it, or don't ever feel like you wasted money, because no money when it comes to marketing is a waste. You probably might have not made that engagement, or you probably did not make enough sales, but you've done one thing: create awareness first. There's a marketing funnel, and there's something about creating content for each of these stages in the funnel. So if you start with the content that is for awareness, you can go to the next thing: content for consideration, content for taking action, content for keeping these clients to be loyal clients to you. All right. And lastly, I understand that creating stories is going to probably be expensive, from the location to the props to the setting to the costumes, the content creators, everything. So you don't have to waste a whole lot of money. You could easily just use your in-house staff, or you could just hire a media agency to handle everything. Everything just depends on your budget. Thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope that you're able to discover your brand story through the content that you create. So please create a story from your brand. Let people remember you for something. Have a brand story that can always differentiate you from other people. Now, go get your asa. Take you from the media playboy.